I know it's only the first week of December, but your Uncle Spurt already feels like he went about 10 rounds with a pissed off grizzly who has a deep resentment of bald northern tech twats. That's right, kiddies, it's Christmas booze-up season and my liver has been properly tenderised already by far too many outrageous whiskey beers. I've also actually just received my first Christmas present of the year, this charming rug which came all the way from Taiwan, courtesy of those lovely buggers at ASUS. I think you were possibly a little bit generous with the hair allocation there, lads, but you've perfectly captured my "ooh, is that a bottle of Hibiki I spy on the top shelf" expression. Anyway, this week we're putting our fingers to our temples and going a lot in a bid to pay forwards through the dense gravy of time and see what the next to nothing flagship phone is all about. And that'll be followed by the usual moistest morsels of viewer commentitude. Let us jingle. TechSpurt Weekly. So top online leaky bloke Yogi Bear has revealed that Nothing is apparently working on a trio of new smartphones for launch in the first half of 2025. One of which is almost certainly the fresh new Nothing Phone 3 flagship. In fact, I'm so confident of that I would stake my best pair of Y-fronts on it, which you can almost fold in half without snapping them in two. Nothing skipped its flagship offerings this year, concentrating instead on more wallet-friendly options, including the Nothing Phone 2A and 2A Plus, as well as the super budget CMF phone, so called because it's one cheap motherfucker. But yeah, Nothing head honcho Carl Pei already kind of confirmed earlier this year that next year Nothing would be launching a fresh new flagship phone, so you don't exactly have to buff your crystal ball too hard to see that one. Previous leaks have pointed to a pair of new handsets, which could well be the Nothing Phone 3 and also a more affordable Nothing Phone 3A. The first is expected to be powered by Mediatek's fresh Dimensity 9400, a more affordable but still pleasantly beef-tastic alternative to Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Elite. And of course that Dimensity 9400 recently powered Oppo's Find X8 flagship smartphones. And certainly that 9400 seems to be a good fit. Wouldn't be surprised to see it stuffed inside of the Nothing Phone 3 because Nothing has used MediaTek chipsets in previous handsets and also does tend to stay clear of the top-end Snapdragons for its flagships just to help bring down the cost a bit, make those flagships more competitive, certainly as far as emptying your wallet is concerned. And I'd absolutely be happier than Jacob Rees-Mogg at a shoot all the poor people party with the Dimensity 9400 running the show, as it's a proper bit of alright. Even batshit mental randomness like Wuthering Waves played rather nicely on the Oppo Find X8 Pro, boasting a frame rate even smoother than my scalp when those graphics were maxed out. Meanwhile, the second handset that Nothing will supposedly be launching alongside the Nothing Phone 3, which will probably end up being the Nothing Phone 3A, should be powered by Qualcomm's Snapdragon 7S Gen 3. That's a mid-range chipset, it's not quite as capable. And this was all laid bare by recent leaked benchmarks, which may well turn out to be a shovel full of bovine arse evacuations, but hopefully not. The Snapdragon 7S Gen 3 is a fresh upgraded version of the 7 Plus Gen 3, which was the brains of the OnePlus Nord 4. And that certainly already proved good enough to cope with some Genshin Impact action, so the Nothing Phone 3A should be just as capable for bashing wee angsty furry gits right in their mug. And both the Dimensity and the Snapdragon chipsets can handle their AI smart arsery incidentally, so you can expect Nothing to come extra hard with all that AI shenanigans. While the rest of the software won't really be much of a shock. It'll be the latest Nothing OS 3 slathered on top of Android 15, and I've already had a proper gander at all that in another charming wee video, which I'll inevitably fail to link to right here, as I still don't really understand how YouTube works. But if you can't be arsed with yet more of me banging on about shiny stuff, well, Nothing OS 3 is a bit like Nick Cage in its beta form, with some proper good stuff mixed in with some utter clagnuts. But of course, yes, it is still very much in beta, so there's still plenty of time for those rougher edges to be smoothed over. And it's also worth pointing out that some online gossip merchants reckon that the two new phones won't be the Nothing Phone 3 and the Nothing Phone 3A. What they'll actually be is the Nothing Phone 3 and the Nothing Phone 3 Pro, with the Pro model getting that Dimensity 9400 and the regular Nothing Phone 3 getting the Snapdragon 7S Gen 3. But I'm going to stake my bollocks to the wall and say that there won't be a Nothing Phone 3 Pro, it'll just be the 3 and the 3A, and that third phone will be a CMF Phone 2 launched later in the year. And of course, as long-term TechSpurt viewers will know, my predictions always come out trumps, so you can slap a tenner on that right now, easy money. And if you don't believe me, well, here's a quick montage of some of my other excellent predictions that turned out to be 100% accurate from the past couple of years. Now, other Nothing Phone 3 leaks are pretty sparse right now, but you can expect a 6.7-inch OLED screen, stereo speakers, a dual camera setup, and of course the usual flashy glyph light and shenanigans to turn any moment into a disco party. And I reckon that glyph lighting will be upgraded in at least one or two ways, possibly a nice bit of RGB shenanigans now rather than just having lights all the same colour. It'll be that and the improved performance on the AI shenanigans that will help to set the Nothing Phone 3 apart from previous flagships. Anyway, that's what we think we know so far about the Nothing Phone 3 and potential spin-offs like the 3A. But what do you guys reckon? Are you excited already? And what would you like to see in the fresh new Nothing Phone handsets? Definitely let us know in the comments below. And now it's time for the part of the show that'll leave you with a nice warm fuzzy feeling inside, like you just ate a live badger. It's viewer comments. Viewer comments. Oh. All right, let's start this week with ZJG, who says, "You look tired." Good. We're off to the usual self-esteem boosting start, I see. Starchild says, "I love it when you say bum liquid." Oh, there you go, with a 2-for-1 Starchild, another satisfied customer. For Everyday says, "I came here for a phone review and I left with my mother and I in tears." I honestly can't even remember what the "your mum" joke was in last week's show. I'm sure it was another cracker as always. News of its impending Pixel 9a is spattered all over the internet, just like your mum's. And coincidentally, just like your mum's, the Pixel 9a should provide some satisfying one-handed action. Absolutely not your mum, mate, obviously. Her OnlyFans page, very tastefully done indeed. Proper high-class grot. Smooth65 Smooth 97 says, "I think you would make an awesome car reviewer. You remind me of Jeremy Clarkson." Nice one. Now all I need is a regular TV presenting gig, and preferably an intern so I can throw cold baguettes at him and give him a good kicking. Tom Marsden says, "How dare you call 6.1 inches dinky? The survey data I've collected indicates it's entirely adequate." Don't get me wrong, Tom, 6.1 inches certainly a sizable handful, but sadly a bit of a tiddler compared with a lot of the trouser fillers these days. Bri says, "You have a B-day. I can't use them. It gives me flashbacks of my uncle." I'm not even going to ask what those flashbacks involve. I can live without the clarification, frankly. Bonus Baby says, "You are hands down, trousers or otherwise, the most professional, unprofessional YouTube content creator I know." Professionally unprofessional. I kind of like that. I might have to go on my LinkedIn. On the subject of my cat who made a guest appearance in last week's episode, R. Unsworth says, "The cat shot is definitely relevant." And Jesse Boy says, "Wait, what? The cat's name is Mr. Business, like Gail's cat from Bob's Burgers?" Yeah, it's actually because of Gail's cat in Bob's Burgers that we changed our cat's name to Mr. Business, because he's basically got the exact same "get the f*** out of my face" expression. And Michael W. asks, "Chris, do you produce reviews or any other content for other types of media like magazine articles? I really enjoyed your novels." And likewise, Will Hat says, "Ahoy there, Chris. Ahoy there, buddy. When are you going to sack off this flaccid YouTube side hustle and get back to the real money maker, writing some more irreverent and darkly comic fiction? I need something to fall asleep to while pretending to read. Cheers." I unfortunately haven't even touched any novel writing in basically a decade, ever since I decided to try out the whole procreation thing. And sadly, even when I was writing rather prolifically, the royalties from good old Amazon was just about enough to cover my monthly whiskey tab. But one day, hey, I'll be laid up in a retirement home for knackered old YouTube and I'll have all the time in the world to get back to the writing if I'm not completely brain dead and senile. Mad Mike 1963 says, "Do you have a favourite whiskey? Mine is Jameson's. Drink it neat, don't need to dilute this with Coke or whatever." Yeah, one of my absolute favourite right now is Nika, a Japanese whiskey, which honestly, it's like nectar from Jesus' own teats. Also very partial to a bit of Macallan, bit of Jura, stuff like that. But honestly, I mean, you know, if I actually sat there and did a blind whiskey taste test, every single one I'd just be like, yeah, that's whiskey. Yeah, that's whiskey. Do like a smooth single malt. Don't want it to be too burny because I do prefer to have it neat. But yeah, it's all good. And last week we were apparently discussing the Pixel 9a. It was completely absolute brain fog at the moment. But yeah, lots of comments about the Pixel 9a, so I'm assuming that was the last one. Reza Morley says, this phone's only problem is that I can't afford to get it. If you don't think you'll be able to afford the Pixel 9a, well, no worries, buddy. Definitely go check out my video of the best mid-range phones around right now. There's some options in there more around the sort of £300 mark, just under. Hopefully that'll help. Wink, wink. Sparky says, I'm still using my old Pixel 4a. Can't give up the rear fingerprint scanner and that headphone jack. Man, I absolutely adored those rear fingerprint scanners. I mean, obviously perfect fodder for cheap gags about fingering the back end, etc. Jack908R says, the camera bar is something that looked cool at the start but wore thin pretty quick. I'm seriously considering this phone, the Pixel 9a, just for the lack of camera bar alone. On the flip side, J. Ed Joy says, the 9a looks horrible, IMO. Also, I have the same shirt. What shirt was I even wearing again? Oh yeah. No, that was just a Primark special as well. I think it literally cost me £3, which is amazing. That t-shirt cost me less than the pint of bitter that I bought in the pub straight after. And Marko Vukovic says, if only the Pixel 9a had 67-watt charging, which the Chinese phones at that price point have, if not even more, then it would be perfect. Abso-freaking-lutely. Yeah, that is the one thing I really miss when I am reviewing Pixel smartphones, is you can't just bung a cable in it for like 10 minutes and get like a 40-50% charge ready for buggering off out in the evenings. The House of Guara says, Pokemon in a TechSpurt video. Am I dreaming? No, you're not dreaming, sadly. A lot of my fellow tech YouTube dickheads are younger and well into their Pokemons, and so I'm occasionally subjected to the latest hot monster snatching goss. Also on the subject of Pokemon, Azure RT456 says, need to hear you roasting more Pokemon, lol. Just a bit of a search for the stupidest f***ing Pokemon. Okay, Hypno. What the f*** is this thing? It kind of looks like a cat that got its head stuck in one of those stupid old-fashioned neck ruffs. He obviously reckons he's hard, but he's clearly just a poncy prick. Mr. Mime is obviously just one of those motion capture guys who forgot to get changed after. Diglett, what the everlasting f*** is that thing? I'm going to go out on a limb here and reckon that the artist who drew this was basically ordered to come up with 50 new Pokemon overnight to fill a new game. And this was probably in the late 40s when he'd already smashed back about a dozen Red Bulls and was literally foaming at the mouth, and his hand was just kind of drawn by itself. Yeah, basically looks like Hypno did a half-arsed job of burying one of his own turds. And Lickitung, oh, reminds me of your mum. Moving on, MZUtube says, stop! Just stop promoting video games as a proper alternative to exercise. I understand you need to promote tech to earn a living, but stop pushing stuff that is most likely to misguide folk away from what's good for them. Right, so this is clearly on the subject of the Les Mills VR boxing, which I suggested people give a go if they have a MetaQuest. And look, mate, I'm not saying that people should jack in the gym and basically just sit on their arse on their sofa railing Doritos and playing Doom. What I'm saying is if you're struggling to find the time and the headspace to go out and do, you know, jogging or head down the gym or whatever else, and you've got a MetaQuest, then Les Mills, honestly, it's a really good alternative to all that sporty shit. It's not just a dumb video game where you're just waving your arms about a bit. It's a proper full-on cardio workout. I swear to God, 5 minutes of that and you'll be pissing sweat from every pore. Don't knock it till you try it, basically. SharpVidTube says, Thrill of the Fight 2 is out. I lost 3 fights, beaten up by a girl that was a foot shorter than me. Great fun and crazy hard exercise. Next time I'll try it before drinking Guinness. Yeah, drinking before the VR boxing, probably not a good idea. I can't condone that. Definitely save that till after the workout. Running out of time massively, so better make these the last couple of comments. Div8204 says, I'm a pensioner and I could sort you and Jake Paul out at the same time. See you at the bus stop. Honestly, I do not doubt it for a second, mate, especially as I'm pretty sure that old Jakey boy wouldn't be much of a tag team partner. Probably be far too busy chugging cans of Prime and checking his bloody stocks while I'm having my f***ing head staved in. And Stephen Gaffney says, your gaff is definitely haunted. I mean, I do sometimes wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat, having been roused by strange otherworldly noises. I usually just put it down to the previous night's curry. Anyway, a massive thank you to everyone who commented last week. It wasn't even last week, actually, it was the week before, because last week I was buggering about in Amsterdam, drinking that friggin' whiskey beer, which I swear to God has turned my guts into tar. Anyway, please do smash your comments down below and we'll merrily prance our way through as many of those as possible next week. And speaking of next week, what the f is next week? So next week, assuming my gaff isn't haunted and I haven't had my soul sucked dry by some sort of malevolent poltergeist, well, I'll be bringing you my pick of the best smartphones of 2024. Not that the phone launches are likely to have actually finished for the year or anything. It's like a never-ending stream at the moment. Like that first break the seal piss after chugging a couple of cans of Prime. But yes, everything thus far. I've still got a pile of kit waiting to get reviewed, so I'll try and chug my way through a good few of those. And then this time next week, of course, please join your Uncle Spurt and we will cozy up together in a purely platonic fashion and have another bout of Techspurt Weekly. Massive thanks for watching this shower of to the bitter end. You're very much appreciated indeed. Make sure you have an absolutely smashing weekend and I'll see you on the flip side. Cheers everyone, love you!